So hi everyone, it's Eric Thompson out here in Colorado. I hope all of you are just doing fantastic wherever you are. And I'll start with showing you what's been happening here in Colorado this week. What we've been doing is digging out. We had a massive snowstorm that rolled through here. We had schools closed this week. We had 18 inches of snow, and it's kind of been a big deal. And we're in cleanup mode now. The sun's out, the snow's melting, but it's kind of been the big news here. So that's what's been happening here in Colorado. I hope wherever you are doing really well and you're safe and sound and having a great 2016. This video is going out to everyone who has attended the Real Estate Performance Blueprint Seminar. We had 48 people here in Fort Collins in November, and we just had 31 people in Seattle last week. So this is going out to all of you. What's that? 79 people. And what this is a real-life coaching story. So I thought this would be fun for you to hear. I also think this will help you out to kind of hear. I put together a checklist that's attached to this email that we will talk about in this little video here in this instructional webinar designed to help you out, and it's a good follow-up to the things that we learned while we were together in the Performance Blueprint. So I'm hoping you get some good takeaways from this, and again, this is based on real life, and what I've created is called the Hit the Ground Running Checklist. So the real life story is that we have brought on a brand new agent to our company here in Fort Collins. He is incredible. He's been in Fort Collins for pretty much his whole life, knows many people. He has a database, I think, of 325 people. He is a go-getter. He's coming out of the restaurant business, and just someone who's very engaging, great relationship builder, hard worker, and he's ready to go. And so he's ready to hit the ground running, and so what came up for me is I need to help him by creating this checklist we call the Hit the Ground Running Checklist. I just want to share this with you, and so that's what this video is all about. The checklist is attached to this email, so you should have. If you didn't get it, let me know, but this is what it looks like. This is what we created for him, and now you have the copy to work from. So I hope this is useful for you. Feel free to use it as is or edit it, change it up, make it work for you. But what we're going to do is kind of walk through this checklist, and first we'll answer this question. So who's this for? Who's it for? It's for the brand new person. So this is going to work really well for that person who's brand new to real estate. They're just wanting to hit the ground running. They want to start getting in motion. They want to get their business off the ground. This is for that runway agent. They are stopped on the runway. We need to get them rolling down the runway. So they're sitting there asking themselves, so now what? So I've joined this great company. I've been telling some people that I've started in real estate, but I want to get going. Now what do I do? And I've found through my career in management leadership, if we can answer this question for people, if we can help them with this, because what's going on in their mind is just show me what to do. I'm ready to do it. I'll do anything. I'll do what it takes, but you just got to show me what to do. So that's what this checklist is all about. By the way, on this checklist are not the obvious things. So obviously we want to be sure that a mailed announcement's going out to everyone in this database, make sure an email announcement's going out, obviously business cards, obviously there's a whole onboarding process and things that we're doing right away with a brand new person. That's not what this checklist is. This checklist is about getting their business going and kind of getting their plane rolling down the runway. So that's what this checklist is going to be all about. What we'll do here for the next few minutes is just go through each section of this checklist, and you can hear what I've come up with and decide how this would work for you. It's broken into three categories, three main things that we're focused on. Number one, we want to dial in the database. Number two, we want to dial in the calendar. Number three, we want to get the person in motion, right? So if we can have the database dialed in, have the calendar dialed in, and then give them specific tasks to do, now we're talking, right? Now we're really building a strong foundation. We're getting off on the right foot. We are, because we're starting from a clean slate, if we can instill and install some really great habits from day one, it'll just pay off massively in their career. So that, it always starts with the database, then the calendar, and then let's get into motion. Okay, so let's go through each one of these three things. First, we want to dial in the database. So what does that mean? So what I told him to do, as we want to make sure he hits the ground running, I said, you do these things with your database. I want it organized. I want it in a user-friendly format. I want it accessible from any device. I want all the contact information in there for all the people. So we constantly find, for some people there's just an email, for some people there's just a cell phone. Often we're missing addresses. I said, it's your mission to go get all contact information for all people. Now, I understand that that's going to take a little while, but what I want him to know up front is that that's what we're after ultimately. That's the ultimate goal, and that also becomes a reason to get in touch with someone to get that contact information that's missing. So when the database is dialed in, that's one of the things that it means. We have all contact information for all people, and then we want to make sure that those people are ranked as ABC, and all of you have been through in the seminar kind of what that means and how to do that, and so I walked him through the same thing. Here's how to rank them ABC, here's why to do that, and the why, by the way, is to give him focus. So where we start, you'll see we start with focus on the A's, but we need to know who those people are. Okay, so that's what we do to help him with the database. Second, we want to get his calendar dialed in. All of you should have the blank planning calendar. It's a simple Excel spreadsheet that came as part of the follow-up email. If you don't have that, reach out to me. I'll get it back to you. But I used that same calendar with him. I printed it out. It was on legal-size paper, so it was nice and big to work from. We put it between the two of us, and we said, okay, right now we're going to spend the next few minutes. We're going to get your calendar dialed in. We're going to work on it on this piece of paper, and then we are going to have you put it into your computer, put it into your device, but let's do the work here on this piece of paper. 5 steps. By the way, the order of these steps are intentional. There's a reason why these come in this order, and I would encourage you to help someone with their calendar, help yourself with your calendar by doing it in this order. First thing we did is we had him program in and schedule in his morning ritual. He's going to commit a half hour every day for his morning ritual. All of you should know what that is based on what you learned in the seminar. I walked him through that, so he's committed 30 minutes every day for his morning ritual. He knows when he's going to do that. Second thing we have him block out is family and personal time. I just want him to have some set times, kind of some set boundaries, a couple hours in the evening and some hours on the weekend where he's committed to his family and personal time, and let's not let things encroach on that. And yes, being brand new, he sure is going to be working a lot, and he gets that. And I still want to make sure he's got family personal time built in so his energy reserves stay topped up. Next thing we do is we program in the standing meetings, things like our sales meeting, things like other things that he may be involved in. Let's just get those in to the calendar, the standing meetings. Next thing we do, obviously important, number 4, he schedules his flow. He schedules his customer contact time. So we had him block out 2 one-hour blocks, one on Monday, one on Thursday, hour on Monday, hour on Thursday, and we talk through how sacred those times are. Nothing gets in the way of those. Nothing encroaches on those. Those are very important meetings that you're having with yourself, and you are in flow. You're developing business, and he's all in to do that. So we blocked out those times in his calendar, and really, isn't that amazing? Isn't that a nice gift for him on day 1 to get in the habit of having program flow time in there that's always blocked out? The other thing we did is we had him add in database maintenance. So 1 hour per week, he's committed to work on his database to keep his database cleaned up. Okay, so that was all about the calendar. So now we have a dialed-in database, we have a dialed-in calendar. Now let's get him in motion. And what I told him to do next, go contact your A's. So he knows how many A's he has based on his database being worked on. And what I want him to do is go through the 5-step calling process. It starts with, of course, hello, and then we ask a forward question. The 3rd step is you talk about the reason for my call is, and we'll come back to that. We'll talk about the reasons for this call. Step 4 is another forward question, and then we say goodbye. Of course, this comes out of Ninja Selling, the great Ninja Selling 5-step calling process. I added this past and future. I find in these calls it flows really well to, in number two, step two there, to ask a past-based forward question, like how has the family been? How has work been going? And then when you get to number four, ask a future-based forward question, like, so what do you have planned for the weekend? Are you going to be doing anything fun for the holiday weekend, or whatever that is? So that the conversation just flows really well if you start with a past-based forward question, then transition to a future-based. Anyway, we are now focused on step three. The reason for my call is, and what I coached him to say is that, hey, the reason for my call, that one thing I want to let you know, I'm pretty excited that I've joined Windermere Real Estate. And I coached him to say that instead of, hey, I want to let you know I got into real estate, because I think people's perception is there's a whole heck of a lot of people getting into real estate right now, and it just doesn't sound like that person is very committed. It doesn't sound like a career. It doesn't sound like they've joined a firm. It doesn't sound professional enough or serious enough. When you say something like, I joined Windermere Real Estate, what that implies is I'm taking this seriously. This is full-time. This is my profession. This is a top-level firm that I've joined. They've made the decision to have me join their firm, so that there's some power in that language there. So I encourage you to tell your people the same thing. Have them say, hey, I joined Windermere Real Estate. Next thing we do in that call, so after we tell them the exciting news that, hey, I've joined Windermere Real Estate, we're looking for any opportunity that may exist to say the phrase, to ask the question, would it be helpful if? Really powerful question that I've learned in my career, and in a sales situation, if you can be looking for any opportunity whatsoever to ask this question, would it be helpful if? So here's how to get there. One way is to say, I want to let you know our company produces a really great monthly newsletter with stats and insights on the market. Would it be helpful if I sent that to you? And to get them to say yes, to get them to opt into that, sets up a really great dynamic between you and that customer. Instead of just blasting the newsletter out, get them first to say yes, to opt in to that, to raise their hand to say yes, I want that. Sets up a much better dynamic. And of course, then is a chance to confirm that you have their physical address. Now, if you don't have a printed monthly newsletter, of course, here you could use something like the neighborhood news or another electronic newsletter that you may have. But the point is, we want to get them to say yes and opt in. Next thing we're after, and this is a key part of this call, if the customer's still engaged, to say, hey, we offer a service to our customers. We call it an equity snapshot. Simply shows you the activity in your neighborhood and what your home may be worth today. And even if you're not thinking about selling, we find it's really helpful to know the value of your home. I want to get one of those in your hand. So wouldn't be a good time to get together? So you want to ask them if they think that would be helpful, and then you really what you're looking for is an appointment. So again, he's calling his A's, letting him know, hey, I joined Windermere Real Estate, letting him know about the newsletter if that's appropriate for this phone call, and then really what we're going for here is the appointment, the chance for him to sit down with them to do the real estate review. We call it an equity snapshot. You can call it whatever you want, but the point is that we're demonstrating value to the customer and to get them engaged in a one-on-one meeting, get them to commit to. If they say no to the meeting, then we go down a different path and offer to email it or mail it. But the first thing we're after is a sit-down meeting. So again, he's just calling his A's here. So these are his raving fans anyway. These are the people who are going to be excited for him, and so he has high odds here of turning these into an appointment. So that is your real-life coaching story. Hopefully this is helpful for you. Hopefully this is something that you can get implemented right away. Hopefully you can use this hit the ground running checklist. So use that, and I'm guessing you have some brand new people in your office. Maybe this would help them get focused and hit the ground running. You should know that the next Real Estate Performance Blueprint seminar we will be in Denver, April the 27th and 28th. You may know someone who would benefit from being there. If so, let me know. Let them know it's coming up in Denver, so we'll make it really easy for them to just fly into the Denver airport, zip downtown Denver, and we'll get the exact location out soon, but just be aware of that. And I appreciate your commitment so much, and the fact that you attended the 2-day seminar, whether you came to Fort Collins or whether you were in Seattle. It was sure great to connect with you. If you have feedback about this, if you want to let me know how this worked for you after you gave it a shot, after you implemented it, reach out. There's my email address, eric.thompson@windermere.com. Hope you have an incredible rest of your day, and be well, and hope to be connecting with you soon. Thank you so much.